Let's consider dividing a fraction by a whole number. First of all, when would you ever need to do this? Well, think about this example. We have a whole birthday cake. On one day, you eat half of it, so that you only have a half remaining. Let's consider what that would look like. So there we have our cake tin, but there's only half of that cake remaining. There's only half of that cake remaining. Imagine that you wanted to split that cake into 4 pieces. You have 4 members of your family and you all want an equal share of the cake. So there we have our fraction of a half divided into 4 pieces, or divided by 4. So there's our half of the cake, and we're going to divide that into 4 pieces. There we are. Now you might think then that you have 4 pieces, so therefore your answer is a quarter. But remember, we always have to consider the whole one. So that's what our pieces would have looked like had we had the whole cake. So how many pieces are there altogether? That's our denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pieces. And our 4 people are each going to have 1 piece. So they each have 1/8 of a whole cake. So a half divided by 4 is 1/8. If we think about this, a half divided by 4 is the same as saying 1/4 of a half. 1/4 of a half, which is a little bit like saying 1/4 times a half, because remember, of is the same as multiplied. And we can do that. We know that a quarter times a half is the same as a half times a quarter, because with multiplication it doesn't matter which way round we go. So we can do that quite easily by multiplying the numerators and the denominators to get 1/8. So one way to think about division is to say that if we have a half divided by 4, this is the same as a half multiplied by a quarter. So that makes it easier if we want to do other calculations. For example, we may wish to do a third. We've only got a third of the cake left, divided by 2. This is the same as saying a third times by a half, or half of a third if you prefer. We can do that quite easily. We know that we multiply our denominators and numerators, obviously doing the numerator first at the top. And we get 1/6. So have a go at these questions and bring the answers into school. First one. 1/4 divided by 6. Number 2. We could have 2/3 divided by 3. And last, we could have 1/7 divided by 5. As a checks question, how do you think you would do this problem? 1/2 divided by 1/3. 1/2 divided by 1/3. Pause the video there, complete the questions and bring them in for marking.